In this video, I'm going to be covering how to write Grammy-worthy chords. So we're going to be looking at the last 4 Song of the Year winners and breaking those chords out. Those winning songs were Bad Guy, This Is America, That's What I Like, and Hello. The first takeaway I have for you is that the chords on the internet are almost always wrong. It seems like every site I go on to look at for chords, so I'll go to, I think it's guitartabs.com, I feel like the chords were wrong on almost every single one of these. So just trust your ear, and if you're playing something over top of part of the song and it doesn't sound right, definitely do a double take, make sure that you're actually playing the right chords. I think the other thing, biggest overall takeaway, is that all 4 of the songs that have won previous 4 years have really been centered around minor chords, where they have kind of a, sadder, negative sound to them. More or less in this verse, you have your 1, your 5, and so you're kind of switching between that, your 1, your 5, and then your 4. So just staying very major, very happy sounding. And that contrasts the chorus a lot, which is your 6, you're just going to this D minor. I honestly didn't really hear D minor. It's probably more like a D5, where it's just that power chord, so you're just playing the 1st and the 5th. Of that chord, but if you were to play the full chord, it would be D minor, because that's really what it would sound correct given the context of the rest of the song. And then for your riff, you're staying on that D minor, but they're adding in this B flat over top of it, over top of it, because you kind of have this. It kind of sounds. I guess it's a synth type of thing that they're adding in. But more or less the same chord as the rest of the chorus. And then for your bridge, you're pretty much just riffing over this 1. So you can hear, I wasn't quite sure, it was tough to tell, but you can kind of hear it bouncing between an F, a lower F, and then a higher F in this bass part. And I'd say the bridge there at the end here, after he does his countdown and yells, "Get down!" He does that thing, and then it's really distorted. But it's, he's just bouncing between an F and an F. So I would say that that's a 1 chord there. And then your outro is very interesting because it seems, again, it's very tone ambiguous, or it's very chord ambiguous, where it honestly could be an F chord, it could be a D minor, or it could be a B flat major or a B flat minor, which I think is really cool and interesting. They're kind of just leaving the chord out, so it's not really sure. You do have this B flat playing over top, like the wee again at the end there, but I'd say for the end, no chord, but it's kind of chord ambiguous. Hello kind of sticks to a 4 chord formula, but she does some variations between the verses, the pre-choruses, the chorus, and the bridge. And this is kind of the layout here with your 6, 1, 5, 4 for your verse. You have a 6, 5, 3, 4 for the pre-chorus. Chorus, you have a 6, 4, 1, 5, and then the bridge comes back to a 5, 1, 6, 4. So really, this is kind of just a song that's made up of very common 4 chord patterns, and just switching between them, I guess, to give some variation and to give it some sense of progression. That's What I Like actually has, I would say, the craziest chords out of all the songs, where if you really look at and listen to the way the chords are composed, there's a lot of jazz chords, a lot of 9th chords. So that's definitely interesting, where, it seems like a typical pop creation, but these chords are really layered out, and there's a lot of really cool stuff going on tonally there. That's What I Like is kind of mainly sticking to a 2, 5, 3, 6 pattern, so that's kind of the most common thing that you're seeing in this particular song. In a lot of these songs, there are points where they will cut out the chords completely. I believe that happens in Bad Guy, definitely happens in Bad Guy and This Is America, and I think in That's What I Like as well, where you'll have moments of the song where they just cut the chord out, and that gives some breathing room, gives some variation. So definitely consider that for your own creations. I will also include a sheet with the most common chord progressions along with this video, so that you can, steal those, just use them in your own songs, try to throw them underneath any melodies you might have, or just you could even use it as a starting point for a song as well. But yeah, I would say for the most part, there's, probably around 10 chord progressions that I would say make up 90% of the songs that you hear that really do get popular, and it's because they work. And if you're getting stuck with chords and you're really at a complete loss, again, you can find a reference track, so a song you want to emulate, and take the chords right from that, and it's not technically an issue, and you can write your own melody and lyrics over top of that, and it's completely fine. For the record, if you do end up picking a 2, 3, or 4 chord song where you're just playing the same thing for the entire song, you're definitely going to need to think of ways to make the song evolve outside of the chord progression. So thinking about, well, how can I make the lyrics seem like they're evolving? Or how can I make the, I guess later on the production, you might have to be thinking about, well, how is the production going to make the song seem like it's evolving? But since we're just covering songwriting here, it would pretty much be maybe in the way that you're playing the chords and your performance, or the way that you are singing the different parts of the song. For me, a lot of the times when I'm trying to think of chords for songs, it helps to pull up my digital audio workstation, like the one that I have pulled up behind me right here. I use Ableton, and then just build the chords out that way. I know that not everybody, a lot of people are probably doing this on guitar or piano and might not have access to a digital audio workstation. I recommend Reaper, because Reaper is free, and you could maybe use that if you'd like to try out that strategy of just laying your chords out on a grid so that you can play them over and over again, so that you can hum over top of them, or maybe sing over top of them, and try to get an idea for what your melody might be. I just think it's good because you can kind of tweak it, and maybe you realize, oh, wait a minute, this shouldn't be an F chord, this should be a B flat, minor chord, whatever it might be. And you can kind of tweak it one by one, a little bit at a time, and then just play it over, and then you can kind of start getting a feel for your chords that way. That also will help you with the form of the song too, if you can just lay it out and add markers on your different sections.